Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Butts-Chester. You guys know who I am, and you know what I like to do on my show. Say it with me. I want to enlighten, inspire, and empower you to become your best self. Now, scripture reminds us that the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest on a fire. And that's what we want to do today. We want to get you fired up about our topic. Today, I'll be talking about gathering together, the power of community in healing. So, I'm going to tell you to do, go on, get comfy, get cozy, get your coffee or get your tea because we are about to get started. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark with Dr. Angela. I am your host, Dr. Angela Butts-Chester. I am so glad that you are here with me today. You could have been anywhere and you chose to spend it with me, and I thank you for doing so. So today we are talking about gathering together. The power of community. This month is a month that we are pulling it all together. It feels that way, doesn't it? We're really starting to hunker down and figure out what is it that we need to do and who do we need to be doing those things with. So, as the air starts to get a little cooler, families tend to gather in closer. And even in the rhythm of nature, it starts to shift towards togetherness. It's also Pink Table Talk Month. That's what I call breast cancer awareness time. And that means we're shining a spotlight on the strength of women, the resilience of families, and the importance of supporting one another, especially in seasons of healing. So today's episode is entitled Gathering Together, the Power of Community in Healing. Because while faith is deeply personal, healing often happens in community. We are not meant to walk this life alone. God created us for connection, for fellowship, for family. So, over the next 30, 40 minutes or so, I want to task you with why community matters, how support can lift us in times of struggle, and how we can both gather, give, and receive strength in this season. This is a time for the gift of togetherness. One of my favorite scriptures is Galatians 6:2. It says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." This verse reminds us that we are called not just to live for ourselves, but to share life with one another. When one of us is weak, the other can be strong. When one of us feels weary, the other can step in and offer encouragement. As a pastoral counselor, it is a way in which I help the members of my community to remind them of who they are, to remind them that they will be able to get through this, to remind them of whose they are, and to remind them that God is with us, no matter where we are along life's path. When we think about autumn, one of the things that we do or tend to do is gather. Families around the table, neighbors sharing warm meals. We start to get out in nature in a different way. Perhaps now is the time that you choose to hike that trail because it's not as hot, or you choose to go to the beach as often as you can before winter sets in. Are you spending time out in the back now that you can do a nice little cozy fire? Perhaps you've chosen to introduce your children to camping because you know that nature will be a little bit kinder to you now in this season. Perhaps church members are coming together in prayer now that the church calendar has shifted to a new season. There's something about this season that draws us inward, that reminds us of the strength found in the circles we build, in those circles of love. And that strength, oh, yes, it matters. In fact, it matters deeply in times of healing. Because when you're facing an illness or even grief, there's heaviness in that moment. And oftentimes, the love of our community is what helps take us the next step forward. As a breast cancer survivor, I know that it is community that can help you go through what you're going through. Far too often, we lose touch with those that have helped us go through those times. And unfortunately, I made a few friends along my breast cancer journey. Those that I had chemo with, those that I would meet when it was time for radiation. We've all moved past that stage in our lives. And though we were there as moral support when we were going through it, now that we are X number of years as survivors, we haven't always stayed in touch. So, community is important, even if it's just for a while. Someone there to help you get through what you need to get through. So, why is healing a part of community? Great question. Healing can feel lonely, but it doesn't have to be. God never designed us to walk through the valleys by ourselves. Even Jesus surrounded himself with the disciples, with friends, with companions in the journey. I think of Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9 and 10, which say, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." Isn't that a powerful truth? When we are only the power of one, can we make a difference? Of course we can. But when we are the power of two or three or more, then that is where our strength is displayed. When we're sick, community brings us meals. Community brings us encouragement. Community brings us prayers. When we are grieving, community steps in. Community steps into the silence and reminds us that we are not alone. When we are recovering, community celebrates every little victory along the way. I remember talking with a woman who had gone through um, her breast cancer treatments, and this was her second time actually dealing with this. And she told me that the prayers of her church family gave her the strength that she needed on the days when she didn't even feel like praying. And she was praying for herself. That's what community does. It holds us up when our own strength feels gone. I remember having that moment as well, being just so physically exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Yep, I'm done. Like, oh yeah? Are you serious? Like, no, you're so not done. You still have to, do these protocols. You still have to do these things, and then you'll be done. To get that encouragement, to get that support when you need it. It's a powerful thing. I remember there was one of the nurses that would assist me when it was chemo time. And I loved when she was there because being with her was different. So one day I asked, because there was such a grace, a gentleness, a caring and compassionate way about her, and you could just feel it. Like it just spilled over onto you even when she was being of service to a different patient. And one day I asked her, I said, "Have you always been a nurse?" Because there was something about her. And she said, "Yes, I've always been a nurse. I haven't always been an oncology nurse, but I've always been a nurse. I chose oncology after my own bout with cancer." And that's when it clicked. She too had been through chemo. She too had experienced the all of it, right? The losing the hair, or losing some weight when she didn't really want to. Like she had gone through the all of it. And though her cancer story was much different than my cancer story, she still had a cancer story. And having that perspective of, I know what you're going through. I know the fear, I know the dread, I know that you can't wait until you're finally done with all of this, right? And you never see me again. Like, I know that feeling. And because of that, she was able to administer our medicines in a very different way. Now, the other nurses, they were kind too, don't get me wrong, but they were not they were not cancer survivors. So they understood what we were going through from a textbook perspective, not a personal one. And to me, that makes all the difference in the world. When someone has gone through what you've been through, even if it's a positive thing, right? You're trying to get the job and you need a mentor to help you walk that tightrope, whatever it is, be it that it is health or it is wealth. Someone who has already walked the path can tell you, be careful on level 2. Watch out for the potholes on level 4. The air is thin up here. Pace yourself, right? Whatever it is, they're able to give you that direction and that encouragement. And boy, is that powerful. So remember, when you are speaking with people who have gone through whatever it is that you are going through, and that also includes, we are in the month of breast cancer awareness. Even when you are talking to someone about their breast cancer journey, be aware that the person is going through it. They aren't where you are. So allow them to be afraid, to be scared, to be shaky, to be uncertain, right? All of those things. Allow that. But then on the flip side, encourage them to step closer to the side of victory and of thriving. Allow them to settle into the becoming of the victor. Allow them the grace that God also extends to us. So, how do we build this nurturing community? How do we be intentional about what it is that we want them to do? We'll talk about that right after this very short break. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
There's something I need to tell you. This relationship isn't working. It isn't good for me. I'm breaking up with you.
It's not me, it's you. I became dependent on you. And you were always there for me, even when I was at my worst.
But I didn't realize the damage you were doing.
You created a toxic environment. Not just for me, but others too. You were suffocating me.
We're just no longer compatible. Also, there's one more thing. I met someone else.
I'm respected in public. I'm making friends. I feel like I can breathe again.
That's how I deserve to be treated.
我们之间结束了。
तुम फिर से कभी नहीं मुझे दुख दोगे।
Ni siquiera te necesito.
Parce que j'ai une autre option.
And it's a healthy relationship.
The Power of She, encouraging women to embrace their strengths. The Power of She, encouraging women to embrace their strengths, is an inspiring self-help book that aims to empower women to unlock their full potential and live their best lives. This book is written by pastoral counselor, empowerment coach, Dr. Angela Butts-Chester, who has extensive experience in coaching and mentoring women. This book is filled with powerful insights, examples of women who have overcome obstacles and achieved great success in their personal and professional lives. It covers a range of topics, including building self-confidence and self-esteem, setting and achieving goals, cultivating a positive mindset, a review of women's empowerment over the years, and issues affecting women and their growth. The Power of She, encouraging women to embrace their strengths, is a must-read for any woman who wants to unlock her full potential and live a fulfilling life. It is a powerful reminder that every woman has the strength and resilience to overcome challenges and achieve great things. The Power of She, encouraging women to embrace their strengths, available at drangela.chester.com and, of course, on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
For many people, a breast cancer diagnosis can feel like a battle they're facing alone. But we are in this together because there are mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our friends. NBCF rallies and screening, supporting, and serving communities across the country. Because every woman matters. Every story is powerful. Every voice makes a difference.
Just beat breast cancer.
And every dollar helps. Together, we rise. Are you in?
Discovery. No, just a sec.
What would it look like if we listened more? Could the right voice, the right set of words, bring us all just a little closer? Get us to open up, even push us further? It could, if we took the time to listen. The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories. Download Audible and listen for a change.
And we are back. Thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Butchester. We are talking about gathering together, the power of community in healing today. Let's jump back into that conversation. So, how do we build and nurture community? Of course, I'm going to always try to give you some practical steps in order to achieve the best that you possibly can. So, how do we do it? Number one, you must be intentional. Healing requires support, but community doesn't just happen. So, reach out, join a group, and let people in. Join a group. That is one of the best things that you can possibly do. Now, joining a group can help you with the small details, the things that you might not be aware of, the things that you might not even think about, right? Because if you've never experienced this before, you don't know what you don't know. So, with that being said, joining a group can help you 1000%. So, that leads us to our number two, which is be vulnerable. So we're being intentional when we're building community. We're being vulnerable, which also blends into number three, and that is being present. So when we do all of these things, right, we were intentional in the conversation. Girl, don't do that. Try this. We were being vulnerable. We were exposing, right, that you might be doing this, and I hope I'm not offensive when I say it. Don't do that. Make sure you're doing this, right? And that vulnerability of, I'm trying to pass on some really great information. I hope it's received the way with the intention of how I mean it. And by being present, by having spent enough time with each person, you know the heart of the person, and you know that their intention is not to be condescending or undermining in any way. And because of that, you're able to receive the information. So by being vulnerable, it's okay to say, I need help, or I'm uncertain with something, but my intention is to deliver it with good intentions. Please hear it as such. By being present, you're building community in a way because you're talking, because you're giving, because you're showing up for others. And it is the small things and the small ways that we are able to do so. And number four, be consistent, right? Be consistent. True healing comes because support doesn't show up just one time. Support shows up consistently. Support shows up constantly. And healing is a process. So we need for our team, our community, our girls, our guys to be there on a consistent basis. And it helps to walk this journey with those that you know that care about you, who want the very best for you. So when we choose to build this rhythm into our lives, we create a foundation of resilience, not just for ourselves, but for everyone that is connected. Hebrews 10, verses 24 and 25 say it this way: let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. We have to remember to be encouraging to one another. Because let me tell you, life can be discouraging so many times. And I sadly enough to say, unfortunately, our friends and family can sometimes be a part of that discouragement because they're so busy reminding you of the past things. They don't want to, or they're not able to encourage you into the new things. So make sure that though you may have to deal with those friends and family members that are trying to hold you into your past, make sure that you're spending time with those that are in your present and that are trying to help encourage you and walk you into this new sense of self and who you are. So be that friend that encourages, not just once, but all the time. Be that person who is one of encouragement when it isn't necessary as well. So when it isn't just a moment of nice, but it is a moment of need. It's part of God's design for who we are to heal and to thrive. So I want to encourage you, Sparker, that as we close our conversation today, remember who you are. Healing isn't just something that you face alone. Just like the trees in the forest stand stronger together than they do alone, so do we. If you are in a season of healing, lean into your community. If you don't know who to lean on, check in with your medical team to find those community groups, those support forums out there that are able to get you through this particular time. If you know someone walking through this and they just need someone to be there, perhaps you haven't been where they are, but you know what it's like to be a human being. Right? Just be there to listen and encourage them. And sometimes the best thing that you can say is, I have no idea what you're going through, but I don't want you to be alone. I want to go with you. I have no idea how you're feeling, but I know that when I feel down, I would want someone to hold my hand. So I'm here to hold your hand, just to be present with them, be prayerful with them, and be loving with them. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here today. As always, I hope that today's episode has encouraged you, inspired you, and reminded you that we are all King's kids and that we walk in the victory. As always, may the Lord continue to shine his face upon you. May you receive his grace and his mercy in all that you do. Until next time, everyone, remember that you are blessed in the Lord. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.